Okay, it's another beautiful day at the market today. And yes, I think there was a bit of a reprieve on the with the kills. So let's see what we've got and see how it played out today, really. Okay, it's a bit of a quiet side on the from the Fed. Not a lot to say today. But we had a few things. So if you look at the cues, the again markets still, quite inching on all-time highs. But I think this is the second day drop that we had today. Again, I'm still looking at that resistance. I'm not going to say much in terms of where the level is, because frankly nobody knows. But again, market kind of dipped a little bit, so it's not a cry for help at all in this case. But as we can see here, 0.35% down. I think yesterday again was about 0.66, so it's just about a 1% down from about the 40% highs we've seen since April. Right. Thinking about that, also on the forex side, what happened? I look at this major all the time, the cable. So if you look at the GU, it came down a little bit. There was a bit of a weakness. Why? Because there's an inflation risk on the UK side. So yes, that was you could see this little candle there. It was down by a little bit. So not a great deal to shout about, but yeah. And as a result of that, that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on the dollar. So if you look at what happened to the dollar went up as a result, and we could see that little candle right there. But again, so the market was a little bit muted, but of course, we still had a huge breakout from different part of the market. I think without having to mention at all, if we look at the leaders, we're saying, hey, market was a little bit quiet in some cases. But what do you mean quiet? Look at Tesla, a huge breakout there, 4% in the day. Um, Meta as well. I think Meta did its thing, so the market is still very much roaring. Things are still very much happening. Yes, I am personally, I'm actually more on the cautious side right now because I believe this market has got a lot of fluff in it. Personal opinion, by the way, this is not financial advice. But that's just the way I feel. So um, also, if I mean, as well, I don't know if you know, I do trade commodities. So, how did one of the ones I'm looking at again was cocoa. Cocoa's been just about inching below 7,000 yesterday. It was a bit of a threat, and it's just hanging on for dear life. So, what happened? Cocoa did it got muted. I think the bulls came in gently today, and so there was a bit of a reprieve. Just, he's been coming down all this while, and he says, you know what, time to wait, pregnant pause, let's see the next move. So again, not a lot's happening right there. And the good surprise today, crude oil, look at that, beautiful. So crude oil came right from the lows of 62, punching out higher and almost to 65. So this one here, again, I've been on it for a while, been looking at it, and that is a thing of beauty. So, like I said, am I thinking it's gonna hit that spot? Not that I know, but we'll watch. Okay. So crude oil is one position, as well. But looking at a few things to say. So yes, the market, like I said, I think is frothy. The tech is leading the charge, with semis especially. Intel pops last week after news, but guess what? Quick surprise, Intel popped again on the rumor that it's going to be having a bit of a collaboration with Apple. And this is going with the collaboration with Nvidia's multi-billion-dollar investment they had, contributing to a strong rally across the chip sector. Also, small caps joined the party, and they went further on today with the IWM. You can see there, it just kept going. I think there was a bit of a delay, a little bit, but IWM still also at an all-time high. Um, at an all-time high. So, so this is not just a big tech rally. I think this is actually broad-based. rally actually. Also, there was a Lithium Americas LAC. LAC did not slow down at all. I think at some points in the day it did double. Look at that. That was a huge 95% rally in the day. At some point it was a double. It did a century, but there you go. So well done to the guys who were in. I think this is as a result of the US government trying to rescue them. Really, I'm going to call it a rescue. I think it was a deal they had, but yeah. So traders are betting on more rate cuts by the year end, but inflation and labor markets data remain strong or mixed. So that means that volatility can still sneak back in quietly. Well, one thing I'm saying is that the economy or the macros are bearish, but the market is bullish. So they got to meet at some point, and even gold I think broke 3,800 today at some point I think. So Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, they're all at the center of flows right now. So the moves in these giants are creating decent amounts of trading opportunities for short-term traders. Liquidity and momentum are driving this market. So traders will continue to see more lucrative setups, which I expect them to see. Of course, however, discipline and strict execution of stop loss will still matter very much. For a few things I'm looking at tomorrow, this has actually been getting a little bit busy. Teladoc. It's one I'm looking at. It's staying right there at 8.4, and they are staying. I think one thing I've got to say about Teladoc is that on the fundamental side, they're clearing up and paying off the debts. So that's one thing that's good. With the management, they're actually trying to get busy and trying to get towards profitability. So that's one. And of course, everything on the everything on the solar side, these guys have been extremely beaten down. So it's something I'm looking at again, not exactly paying much attention, but just having a look. So we're looking at that. We're looking at well, a CDG is another one, which is a big name right there. All these guys are probably making a comeback. Jinko Solar as well, which is the Chinese version. So all these guys are making a comeback at some point. They've all got similar patterns. So that's what I'm looking at tomorrow. And yes, we'll see how it goes. Again, do not take unnecessary risk. If you're not sure what you're doing, find someone you can trade with. Otherwise, give us a shout. And yeah, see you on the trading floor. And